Hi, everybody. So this is my first CfA summit, and it has been so amazing. I am so excited to take some of the 21st century tools that we've learned about and talked about, and all the ideas we've shared this week back to Kansas City. But I want to tell you about a really old school tool and how in Kansas City we're using it in a very 21st century way. And so we do an annual citizen survey. And what that looks like, let me see if I can advance it. All right. It's a really huge survey. And what that means for us is that we can infer the opinions of our entire population using this one engagement tool. We look at it as our voice of the customer. We can extrapolate data for all of the customers that we cover with our city services. It's also an outcome-oriented metric that we like to layer on top of all of our service level metrics so that we have a really full picture of maybe what's going on and what our citizens think about what the city is doing for them. Our city manager likes to say that in his measure of profitability for our organization, are we adding value? Are we doing the right things and meeting our customers' expectations? So surveys are about outcomes. You need key leadership support like Mayor Sly James and City Manager Troy Schulte. But if you're doing a survey and you have all this data and you're doing nothing with it, it's useless. Data that's not being used is stupid. So here's how Kansas City is using our survey data. So I think when you think about a survey, you think, hey, year over year trends, quarter over quarter, whatever. Okay, did we go up? Did we go down? But we want to go beyond that. So we take it to another level. Our survey asks people, are you satisfied with this city service? But we also ask within sections, hey, what do you want us to emphasize? What's your priority for improvement in the city? And so this table comes from our Parks and Recreation section. And almost all city services are kind of categorized in some manner off of the survey. And what you see here at the top of the list, mowing and tree trimming along city streets. That question used to be in another section, pitting it against things like street maintenance, sidewalks, street lighting, traffic signals, the real hard infrastructure. And when it was in that section, it was really far down on the priority list. But we realigned that question into this section because Parks Department actually maintains that infrastructure. And we wanted to put the question where it's being accomplished so we could prioritize against those other things. And when we did that, it went to the top of the list, number one priority. We have used this table the last 2 years during budget deliberations to make the case for maintained funding for that service. And we've won using citizens' voices and their priority level. We do also look at trends and we use that against benchmarks because a trend won't tell you that much unless you know where your target is. So this is our satisfaction with snow removal operations. And back in the day, we looked at it and we said, that's not really that great. Less than 50% of our citizens are satisfied. Hey, we've optimized that service. We've really worked there. What's going on? So we brainstormed and we had this hypothesis that maybe what was happening was we were not setting an expectation and we were not communicating clearly about our snow removal processes. So you see where that turquoise-ish blue line starts to cross that orange target line. And that's the benchmarks for a large cities of 250,000 people or more. That year was one of our biggest snowfalls in Kansas City. But before the first flake fell on the ground, we were communicating like crazy. Our mayor was on Twitter. We were everywhere we could. Every channel we had on TV, in the newspapers, whatever. Any way we could get the word out about where you park your car, what you can expect the city to do, when we're going to start plowing the streets. We did it. And sure enough, we saw a huge increase in satisfaction, and we are now consistently above that national benchmark for snow removal. The survey also helps us target our resources. So we have a geographic element of it. This is our new 311 van. So when we conceptualized this idea, we were like, hey, this is awesome. We're going to go out in the community and we're going to ask people what they need from us. But we didn't know where to start. We didn't know what neighborhoods to go to. So we looked at the survey and we said, which neighborhoods feel unheard and underserved? And so we're right now driving that van around and right into the heart of those neighborhoods and saying, we're open for business. We're here for you. Tell us what you need from the city. The survey also does an incredible job of looking at really high-level metrics like quality of life. Kansas City is a place to raise children. This is Kansas City as a place to live. Last year, Kansas City had a lot of incredible things happening. And it showed up on the citizen survey as a 4.3% increase in this particular question, in satisfaction with Kansas City as a place to live. Those metrics are hard to move. So we know Kansas City is moving in the right direction and has a lot of momentum behind it. There are a lot of other super cool things you can do with survey data. This is an event we had this past summer called the Art of Data. We paired our charts and graphs from the survey and other types of city data with local artists, and we asked them to creatively interpret it. We put their works in a gallery space, and we invited the community to come and engage with that art and tell us what we thought or what they thought it was saying to them. The great thing was, as a city staffer, it was to sit back and listen to how they were engaging with that art in a different way and understanding our survey results through the creative process of art. Surveys can be really challenging for communities. So when you do a survey, everybody's going to question your methodology. They may question your intentions, and they're definitely going to say, what are you going to do with this? It also takes time, and it takes a little bit of money, probably less than you would think it does. But really the key thing is it cannot stand alone. It has to be layered on top of other data sets, and it has to be embedded into your overall decision making, or else it's a worthless endeavor. So really, I would encourage you, if you are a government leader or a citizen in your communities, to go back, consider a citizen survey or a resident survey in some format, but make sure that if you do it and you are taking the time to gather citizens' feedback, that you actually do something with it to improve their lives. Thank you.